It's good, everybody. Week 6 of NFL already? Man, it's your boy Young and You, my boy Hamilton James,
What
Enzo
up? What
Emcees out
up?
here. So, with our first game, we got the Bills and Giants Sunday night primetime game. Hamilton, you got any big takeaways for that one?
Bills and Giants. Uh, I did watch that game. Honestly, I wasn't really impressed. The fact that the Giants, could barely score 9 points, and they were all field goals. That was disappointing.
Yeah.
Um, the Bills didn't do much better. Honestly, I watched this. I thought the game was kind of boring to me. Uh, I
It's
think
like,
Waller. I think Waller definitely that was a pass interference, and which bothers me because I swear the NFL. I'm gonna say this real quick. The NFL shows mad favoritism to Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Mad
for
favoritism.
real. For real, for
Mad
real.
favoritism to the Bills and to the Chiefs, bro. I've seen them call PI on the Chiefs. Excuse me, what was that on the Bengals? I seen when the Chiefs went up against the Bengals. I think it was a PI call, if I'm not mistaken. But I've seen them call PI in very opportune moments for the Chiefs and for the Bills, and I just don't see like other teams getting that. That was a clear PI 2 times.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
though Waller, I feel like he's 6'6", you gotta grab that. You know what I mean? But
It
still,
was
like
holding at the very least.
you know what I mean? Like, bro, come
Yeah.
on. So, yeah, that was probably the most exciting part about the game was the end of it. Outside of that, it was a snooze fest, and I feel like Josh Allen sometimes I don't know. I don't know if it was because he got hit really hard, but he was just not looking like the Josh Allen that like he normally looks like.
Mm-mm.
I was let me see. What else did I really take away from that game? Man, I feel bad for Brian Dayball.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I think the guy's a good coach, but he endorsed Daniel Jones, so that's an indictment too.
Yeah.
Uh, or two, that team's just not playing. They're just not playing for him.
The
They're not playing
personnel
for
ain't
him.
hidden right now.
Personnel ain't
Like,
hitting, and it's never
yeah,
really hit. I mean, we've been talking about the Giants' offensive line for years now. You know what I'm saying?
it's been an
Since
issue
before Daniel Jones. So,
since
you know,
before Barkley too.
oh yeah, no, for sure. When what's his name was there, Odell and Eli was there, still like the offensive line
Yeah,
was trash.
Brandon
You know
Jacobs,
what I'm
all those
saying?
guys were. Yeah, it's still trash.
Yeah, so offensive line was trash even back then. So they really haven't solved anything. I don't know. The Giants to me they overachieved last season. I never thought they were really good. I never thought Daniel Jones was a starting QB in this league. At first, I think that he had a couple bad coaches, but it just, I mean, when you have a good coach and you're still not doing well, that's an indictment on you. And him being injured and all that kind of stuff, it just, I don't know. I think the Giants messed up.
Yeah, I think having a good coach and a quarterback like Daniel Jones is a really clear answer that Daniel Jones isn't the answer. And I've given him so many chances too, and it's just like it's not working out. Nothing's happening right now, man. So it's like
His game's not sexy. It doesn't excite me.
no.
He can't. He's not protected enough. Yeah, the Giants should say that.
He's athletic, but he has no quarterback talent. It's
Yeah,
it's really odd.
yeah.
And
He can run, but he's not like shifty like Lamar or something like
yeah, no, no, no,
Michael
no.
Vick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. But yeah. On that, speaking of the game though, Josh Allen, the Bills, like really underwhelming performance. I don't know what was going on there as far as the play calling or execution, what have you, or both. Just didn't work out. Shout out to Tyrod Taylor for keeping like the Giants in the game though. I will say that.
He's looked better than Daniel Jones has looked all year, outside of
Yep.
maybe that one game against the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like
You know?
Tyler Taylor's like always been able to be a decent backup, especially in tight games like that. Keep the game close. Like we said earlier, that was a holding penalty at the very least on Darren Waller in the end zone. I feel like the Giants should have had another shot there. And I don't know if you saw right before halftime, Tyrod Taylor did audible to a run on the goal line, which led to run out the
Oh,
clock.
yeah, that too. The clock management was trash.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty
Trash.
bad. It's bad.
First half and at the end of the game. Trash.
Mm-hmm.
Both times. Yes, I
Yep.
will comment on that.
Yep. So with that, Giants might getting close to hitting the panic button soon on this one on this season.
Giant season is over. Oh, let me tell you,
Yeah.
the panic, but Giant season is done. If you're a New York Giants fan,
Yep.
man, just get ready for the draft, bro. It's a wrap.
For real, man. But yeah, Bills are still another interesting team I have yet to figure out in certain games. I mean, they have a close game with a team like against like the Giants, and then they freaking beat the Dolphins by 20 plus. So I don't know.
I think teams get up more for their divisional opponents.
That's fair. That's fair to assume. But yeah, Cowboys Chargers. I was watching most of that game in the second half because that's when it got close.
That's when it got no. That's when it got interesting, bro. Honestly, the game was like 7. It was like 7-7 or 7-10 in the first half or something like that, bro.
Yeah,
It was boring. It was boring.
It was
boring
until like the second half. It was like okay.
Second half, really until the fourth quarter is when it got spicy.
True. Yeah.
Man, I mean the Cowboys won. Dak looked cool. He had a couple of nice. He had that run right there. He had that. I think he had that pass to CD for the touchdown. If I'm not mistaken.
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks. Excuse me. You're right.
Yeah.
It was Brandon Cooks. You're right. He had that pass to Cooks for the touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Both defenses look great on my end.
I mean, the Chargers defense, I guess, was all right. I mean, I was expecting the Chargers to score a lot more points. Kudos to Cowboys because they played their game, played their style the way they wanted to. Kind of made Mike McCarthy justify a little bit. Michael Parsons came through at the end right there. I have a feeling. No, I know almost for a fact that like Herbert was shook and threw that pick right there because Michael Parsons came with that last sack. The play before. So and then damn, like was Austin Eckler even in the game? Like it's like there's like no run game almost.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I barely heard anything from Eckler on that game. Like,
I mean, Eckler just somebody. Like I just barely any real run game from the Chargers. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah, they were passing it most of the time.
You know what I'm saying? Tony Pollard looks nice. Yeah, I mean, a good win for the Cowboys. They got punched in the mouth the week before. They responded. They didn't fold, so I will give them credit where credit is due. They got the W, and yes.
Yeah, tough loss at home crowd for the Chargers for sure on that last minute. I felt like they really had things going for the second half once their offense like consistently kept rolling, especially against that Cowboys defense. But yeah, that defense ended up coming close.
I go back to Brandon Staley real quick, making a boneheaded decision to go for it on fourth down and throwing the ball instead of running it on fourth down when you're like 4th and 1 and 4th and inches, and then you lose out on points right there, and you end up losing the game by 3. So Brandon Staley, stop. It's not Madden, bro. That's what I do on Madden. Seriously, I'm like, okay, on 4th down, let's keep going. It's Madden. It's not real life. Like, please stop doing that. You could have had that really could have went overtime. You could have put pressure on Dallas, and we know Dallas, when the pressure's on the line, they're not as suited to win. And so why not get the easy points? But you go for it. That's the Brandon Staley. That's little things like that is why Brandon Staley should have already been gone. It's the boneheaded decisions, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, no, I totally. I remember that incident when you just brought it up right now, and like, yeah, it was definitely a dumb decision on his end. So yeah, we still are seeing the interesting ride of the Cowboys this season. So that's been fun to watch. And then we will go on to the Niners and the Browns game. The Niners got their first loss of the season on the road in Cleveland against the third-string quarterback. Any thoughts that you have on that?
Sometimes you just play down to your competition. I think that's all it was. I think sometimes you look at the schedule, you're like, man, it's a scheduled W right here. Like, we ain't got it, we chill it. We ain't got to do nothing. Then your opponent comes and it surprises you, and that you being surprised throws you off guard. And I mean, it wasn't like they got blown out. They lost, came down to a field goal. And the kicker missed twice. Brock Purdy had it's funny. Like, to me, that's how I kind of measure like how good a player is. When you have like your worst game and you still only lose by 2 points, and one can make an argument that like you really only lose because the kicker ain't do his job, even though you had one interception. I still feel like Purdy. I feel like he still was all right. Like, I wasn't looking at him like, oh my God, this guy's trash. And I mean, look, anyone who loses weapons like a Debo Samuel or like a Christian McCaffrey, you're gonna look a little bit different. You're gonna look a little bit different. You know what I mean? They had Ayuk out there, but the connection wasn't clicking.
The Browns defense showed up that day, man, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I'm saying. I think Kittle's only had like one catch or something. Like he wasn't
One catch,
effective.
1 yard.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like come on, when is that ever gonna happen again? You know what I mean? I just think sometimes you play down to the level of your opponent, and I think that's all it was. You know, like you said, third string quarterback. You know, I'm thinking, oh, I got the day off. We in Cleveland. Well, we in Cleveland. What we eating after the game, baby? You know what I mean? Like, you know, and then you get smacked in the mouth. You're like, oh, these cats is real for real. And then you try to play catch up, and now you scrambling because you're like the game plan not working. And you're like, oh, what's going on? And Cleveland Browns got probably one of the best defense, probably a top 5 defense in the NFL.
Easily.
You know what I'm saying? Cleveland Browns defense is real.
Yeah.
So I will give credit where credit is due. I don't even know the quarterback's name, the third string quarterback. I don't even know his name for the Cleveland
PJ
Browns.
Walker.
PJ Walker. Oh, well, hey man, he did what he won the game. He was a game manager. Yeah, that's all it is. Schedule loss. I mean, sorry, just you play down to your competition.
Yeah, no, the Browns definitely played better. That I don't know if you saw that penalty that they called on Deshaun Gibson, that hit on the receiver. Where they thought it was a helmet-to-helmet hit, but really it wasn't. That was really bad. That was on like third or fourth down, like last minute of the game, and then that gave the Browns the extra down and finished the drive with a field goal to give them that lead. So that was a really bad call.
I was watching something. And I was like, boy, you can't play no defense in the. Something was what was that? Maybe it was on Sunday. But I was like, man, you can't play no defense in the NFL no more. Excuse me.
For real.
It's bad.
It's definitely offensive favored.
For sure.
Yeah. So that happened. Yeah, I don't know. Like Browns just showed up that day out of nowhere, and then it was a very sad ending with the kicker missing that field goal by a foot. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I'm not. It's one of the that's not gonna happen again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm just like, all right, it happens to the best to every team sometimes.
Yeah.
In every sport. So I'm not gonna pay too much attention to it. The 49ers will be all right.
Yeah, the 49ers. I'm not sure about the Niners. They're gonna be all right. Speaking of the other team that had their first loss this week was the Eagles against the Jets. Any big takeaways for you there?
Man, shout out Zach Wilson. Didn't score a touchdown, but he was a game manager. The Jets defense is real. I think they're like playing inspired ball again. That running back on the Jets is nice too, man. Breece Hall, yeah, Breece Hall. That boy, he's nice, man.
He's been putting in work, man.
He's strong, solid. Can shoot through the gaps. No, he was not. He was balling.
Man.
You know, the Eagles just. I think that they're benefiting playing in the NFC because they don't look like the Eagles of last year so far. Now, granted, they've only lost one game, but I'm talking about just like the optics. I'm talking about the comfortability of Jalen Hurts in the pocket,
like the dominance that they used to have, like
you know what I mean?
last year, yeah.
Especially when that offensive line was dominant last year. So, you know what I mean? So, and they're still really, really elite. I just, I think they just ran up on a good Jets defense.
Yeah.
Jets defense has given a lot of quarterbacks problems this year. You know, it wasn't easy for Patrick Mahomes, wasn't easy for Russell Wilson.
Wasn't easy for Josh Allen.
Wasn't easy for Josh Allen, right? So they're giving a lot of quarterbacks fits this year. So that's to be expected. I think we need to look at the offense, and I think we need to start giving Zach Wilson his props. I mean, everyone was talking about, oh, he's going to lose us the game and stuff like that, and but he's been balling. So give credit where credit is due. You know, Eagles lost one game. I hope to see them bounce back, see what they can do next week, and yeah, I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Eagles either. They'll be all right. It's good to see the Jets ball out and pull out that win out of their pocket. Zach Wilson, like you said, getting better and better each game. Love to see the field manager aspect of him develop more with his young persona. And Jets defense, man, stop sleeping on them, man. Like they're out there to play, man. So a lot of people I feel like sleep on their defense, and they got some really good players.